What's up, guys? It's another Whiskey and Wrestling episode. Tonight I am drinking Jack Daniels. Now, I bought these little guys because I know I don't actually like Jack Daniels, but the match we're doing tonight, it felt like I felt obligated, you know, ever since I've found out that the Undertaker's drink of choice. So, we're going to look at this. So I pick up, there's a lot of booziness on Jack Daniels, I feel like. I pick up, man, it's hard for me to pull much out of the nose here. I think just because it's such a, like it's Jack Daniels, you know, I just have this feel like this is Jack Daniels, this is what Jack Daniels smells like. I pull a little bit of vanilla. There's almost kind of like a cinnamon in there, and I do get a little, there's like something sour that comes through. See, again, it just tastes like Jack Daniels to me. You know, it's funny because it's the, you know, like, even though I'm not into it, it is like the quintessential whiskey to me. Like, when I think of whiskey, I think of this, and this is the baseline, this is what I think of. Find a little bit of that cinnamon on the taste. I don't think I've ever pulled that out before. There's definitely a little bit of that vanilla. There's definitely that kind of southern sweet tea, like real light in the background almost. And I feel like it sits in the back of your throat. Jack Daniels, something about it, you know, there's a burn, there's kind of a linger. It's not quite, you know, I mean, it's that boozy burn, but rather than being like, whew, taking a shot, like it kind of lingers and sits in the back of the throat. Not my favorite. But the match I'm watching tonight is one of my favorites. It's WrestleMania week, so we're continuing with the WrestleMania theme. However, this match also makes it into my top 5 favorite matches of all time. We're watching Undertaker versus Diesel from WrestleMania 12. You already know that. You clicked on the link. I'm a pretty big Kevin Nash fan, a big Diesel fan. You know, I like Kevin Nash, but I'm definitely a big Diesel fan. I feel like he did a lot of great work during this period. His matches with Bret Hart, his matches with Shawn Michaels, obviously. I mean, he was a working big man at this time. Undertaker has always been a working big man. He was entrenched at this point, right? He was a guy by now, but he was still in the process of building, you know, what his legacy would become, obviously. So it's almost like we got both these guys kind of at their prime, crossing paths. You know, like, that's not something we get all the time. So, I'm gonna go watch the match. You should do the same, and we'll come back here in a minute and talk about it. This match is so good. Okay, I'm gonna explain to you why this match is so good. First of all, is it a technical marvel? No, obviously it's not. These guys are not technical wrestlers. This match is a great brawl, and if you want to see a great brawling style match, if you want to know what it looks like to have a great brawl, that is not like a hardcore match with a bunch of chairs and tables and nonsense, a great brawl, a great fight in the ring. This is the match to study. Okay, incidentally, I had to go ahead and mix the Jack with a little bit of Diet Coke. Surprisingly, it really brought that cinnamon note to the top. Like, that's all I've been getting out of this. I don't ever remember noticing, not that I drank a bunch of Jack because I don't like Jack, but I never remember noticing that cinnamon note quite so prominently. Okay, elevator pitch for the match. Big Daddy Cool Diesel versus the Creature of the Night, The Undertaker. And man, this is both these guys at their best. Diesel, he's heel now, so he's got a little bit more attitude. Really the Big Daddy Cool is coming through. You know, when he was a good guy, when he was, you know, as a face, he had a tendency to be a little cheesy, a little over wrestler, you know, almost like he was parodying Hulk Hogan a little bit. I don't know if that was intentional. I don't know if he just was not comfortable as a face. I don't know. But you can tell that Kevin Nash is in his groove. He is comfortable. He is, you know, he's just got that attitude that coming through all the way through. I love, oh, it's so good. The Undertaker. Okay, first of all, I've never been an Undertaker fan. Not really. I've come to have a lot of respect for The Undertaker after his later years and the streak especially. I liked him best probably when he was the American Badass. You know, I just resonated with that a little more. And then as he carried that through, obviously when he was running the tail end of the streak where he would just show up to Mania, those matches were phenomenal. He was always great. Like that was a phenomenal run, and I became a fan of The Undertaker, but I was never a fan of The Undertaker character. I thought it was kind of cheesy and silly, and, you know, he's not, you know, what is it? He's an undead wizard? Is he a zombie? What is he? But this is the Taker. This is probably the best Taker, my favorite Taker, if we're looking at the gimmick, right? He's got the purple gloves, he's got the purple, I don't even know, the purple shin guards, whatever they are. The long stringy hair. He's very pale, and he just holds that Undertaker countenance a lot better. Oh, it's so good. This is best Taker. And they're both on their game tonight. Like they are not off a step. Kevin Nash, we know he's on his way out, but he's gonna work with Taker before he goes. Taker is on his way up and up and up, and he's going to pick up a big win here. All right, so the match. Both these guys, they've been playing mind games with each other. They've each cost each other a shot at the championship, and now it's time for these two freight trains to collide. They start off really fast for two guys of such big size. They go right at it, hitting heavy, throwing big blows, and a couple big moves right off the bat. I was kind of surprised. But Big Daddy Cool takes the advantage, right? Diesel takes the advantage. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's a little bit, well, not meaner, but he's a little bit more aggressive than The Undertaker, so he takes the advantage, and he's really hammering The Undertaker. And man, they do some great stuff. They fight around the outside. They, you know, take a couple big flying bumps. Neither one of them, you know, they're unloading huge right hands, but neither one of them can knock the other guy down. You know, a lot of times when we have two big guys, when you have two big guys in a company at the same time, the fans want to see, oh, what's going to happen when these two big guys collide. And there are plenty of times where it is a letdown. Now, there's two reasons why it's a letdown. It might be a letdown because when you get two big guys together, they think, well, this is their chance to show what they can really do, and they do stuff they shouldn't because they can, right? Like a big guy who can do a Hurricanrana but can't do it against smaller guys will find a way to do it in this bigger match. And when they try to have a match that looks like two smaller guys, it is getting away from what attracts to them being a bigger guy. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like all of a sudden they want to show their athleticism. They want to show how, you know, they can do the flying stuff. They just don't, type of thing. And that's always a letdown because that's not what we want to see. When we've got two big guys, you know, and these two tanks and the power, we want to see what happens when two tanks collide and unleash their power on each other, and guys who are usually pretty resilient, what's going to happen when you know, they've got somebody of equal size, equal strength unloading on them. The other reason that maybe sometimes the two big guys having a match together doesn't work is that sometimes big guys aren't, I don't want to say that they're not as good, but sometimes big guys need a smaller guy to keep the action of the match moving. Sometimes, you know, the little guy is taking all the bumps, the little guy is keeping the action moving, and the big guy is very comfortable just standing there, letting the guy run at him, okay? This match absolutely lives up to the two big guys, the two freight trains, the two monsters. What's going to happen when the two monsters fight, right? And what happens? They hammer each other. You know, they can't knock each other down. It takes a while before either one of them really land that blow that just takes the other guy off their feet, you know. So these two tanks, these two monsters are just brawling it out. It's great stuff. Finally, Diesel is able to land the jackknife powerbomb, and he thinks he's got it. He knows now. Now he has beaten the Undertaker, and now he's going to take his time. He's going to enjoy it. He teases the Undertaker, nudges him with his foot. Come on, do your sit-up. Come on, we've seen the sit-up. Come on, sit up. Undertaker sits up, and he's ready. Hammers him down. Gets another jackknife. And then when he goes down to get the pin, Undertaker grabs him and goozles him with it around the throat. Diesel fights out of that. Goes to do it again. Undertaker goozles him. They fight up. Now they're at it, and now Diesel's shook a little bit. Now Diesel's confidence is shook. You know, it's such a great moment where we have that. You know, because we go from Diesel being overconfident. He's planted the Undertaker. He thinks it's time. He thinks he's got this, and then he doesn't, because the power of the Undertaker. And then to see that confidence break, and to see him get shook, and to see him end up being scared of the Undertaker. It's great stuff. Finally, the Undertaker is just too much. After a couple, you know, turnarounds and some, you know, a couple more big moves on each other, Undertaker hits the tombstone. Boom, plants Diesel. 1, 2, 3. It's beautiful. I love this match so much. The thing wrestlers should learn from this match is to take their time. If you have never understood, when you've had a vet or a trainer or a more experienced guy, whatever, tell you to take your time. If you don't understand what that means, watch this match, okay? These guys don't rush to anything. They take their time. They stalk. They walk. They wait. They let the other guys sell. They make everything they do mean something. And because they're taking their time, every single thing they do means so much more. Every single punch lands a little harder. Every move is a little bit more devastating. Everything that these guys do in this match just comes across as so impactful, partially because they're big, powerful guys and the stuff is impactful, but also because they are taking their time and letting each thing land and letting each thing sit. You know, a lot of times wrestlers get uncomfortable if the crowd is not making noise. They get, you know, they feel like, oh, we're losing them. We need to hurry up and do something. And a lot of wrestlers need to get comfortable letting a crowd be silent as they build their match, because this crowd. There are plenty of times during this match, like, the crowd is not on their feet for this match the whole time. And that's okay. You know, the crowd's not supposed to be on their feet for a match the entire time. They're supposed to come up and come down and be excited and build that anticipation until there's, you know, at the end, boom, it's one big explosion when somebody wins. Or it's, you know, a big explosion, a negative explosion, you know, they're angry, a big overflow of anger when a bad guy wins, whatever. And these guys are so patient and take their time, and it's perfect. What didn't I like about the match? I mean, I guess I could see the argument that it looks a little samey. You know, if they had a bigger variety of strikes, it might have helped to avoid that. Undertaker throws, you know, 37 of his little throat thrust uppercut dealies. Diesel unloads his right hand the same way every time. So if these guys had, you know, I wouldn't want to change the structure of the match, but if they had some other strikes to go to, it might have upped the variety a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of the commentary. Vince and King, they had good chemistry, and, like, you know, Vince is not a bad commentator. I just don't enjoy his style of commentary very much. Everything's just, you know, it's cartoony. Oh, God, you got him. Oh, my, he's the Big Daddy Cool Diesel. It's just not my... I like it a little more subdued, to sound a little more professional. The double... They throw a double big boot, and I think that looks bad. I mean, not to harp on... you know, but this is the kind of match where all you can do is nitpick little things. You know, it's so tight and so, you know, well put together that it's really just little nitpicks. And would the little nitpicks improve a match that much? No, probably not. But there are, the little things that jump out at a trained eye like mine, or, the little things that jump out sometimes are just the only thing we can nitpick and critique. That's all I got for tonight. So if you haven't seen this match in a while, or if you haven't seen this match at all, you should definitely go check it out. I'm going to give it 4 fingers of goodness. Like I said, it's one of my favorite matches of all time. I think I love this. I watch this match. I study this match. I love this match. Jack Daniels, it gets, I don't know, 2 stars. One of those just for being the Undertaker's favorite. I am not a Jack Daniels fan.